Today's story is Nape by Beautiful Nightmare. Gray clouds float across the sky, covering up the full white moon and twinkling stars. Leaves blow in the cool wind as a young brunette-haired woman sits atop the porch, waiting for the meteor shower to begin. This woman had heard so much about the beautiful space phenomenon during her childhood. However, she was never able to actually witness it. She exhales a deep breath of smoke as a flash of purple lights up the sky. Excitement courses throughout her veins as her head turns toward the right to watch the purple streak fly across the darkness, seemingly disappearing into the nearby trees. Her attention is quickly averted back to its original focus when white lights shoot across the sky above her. She nervously chews the inside of her cheek, a worried expression plastered to her olive-colored face, because these aren't like the one she had previously seen. Trees rustle upon an iridescent figure jumping from branch to branch. An intoxicating scent of fear floats into the small slits of the creature's face. A low, inhuman growl disappears into the wind when something sharp pierces through a few scales on its back. The thing jumps from tree to tree until it reaches the last one. Green eyes peer through the multicolored leaves, scanning the area as a small, white house comes into view. A long, snake-like tongue glides over the creature's face before it lands on the ground with a light thud. It creeps along the frost-covered grass, its claws tearing up the earth with every large stride it takes. The trail of dirt leads to the house where the thing begins to climb up the wall. Brown shingles slide toward the edge when the creature stealthily crawls atop the roof. The woman's back is facing the house as she stares out at the mesmerizing sky, taken with each white light of meteors shooting across the galaxy. She smiles to herself because she was finally able to experience this miraculous event. Saliva drops onto the cement porch as the creature slowly crawls down the wooden, white pillar. Suction cups of the creature's tentacles firmly stick to the wooden railing. One claw extends and scratches into her flesh. The woman immediately grabs the nape of her neck to feel a warm liquid oozing out of the fresh gash. She holds her left hand out in front of her with a frightened expression upon the mere sight of crimson. One tentacle harshly penetrates the gash, the creature's iridescent body wiggling its way into the nape of the woman's neck. The gash on her neck quickly closes, while the creature's body begins to take the form of hers, absorbing her organs, twisting and turning to shape itself to fit the form of every bone in her body. The woman's once green eyes are now a light shade of violet, her hair a deep green, and the olive color of her skin slowly changes to a scaly indigo color. The painted nails on her hand grow longer as they change to an odd shade of yellow. A strong craving for blood overwhelms the newfound woman. A wicked smile spreads across her plump red lips as she slowly walks down the cement stairs. The tentacle-like protrusions on her retract into her skin. The blue snake-like tongue glides over her cold lips, with the creature's sick intentions overtaking her brain. The two-in-one woman confidently walks 5 miles toward the small town, where the sweet, sweet smell of alcohol, sweat, and flesh linger in the air. The magnificent light-up buildings, cars cruising up and down the main drag of the town, and drunken humans roaming the street excite the woman. A few homely-looking men take in the appearance of this woman when she strides past them. Her eyes glance around the area in attempt to find the source of the erotic smell when she notices a handsome man approaching her. Her arm slithers around his before pulling him into a nearby alleyway. Her back is thrown against a hard surface. The man leans closer as if to begin the fulfillment of his intentions, yet her urges are much, much stronger. She spins the man around, her lips landing on the nape of his neck just as her fangs sink deep into the sweat-covered flesh. She satisfyingly groans as she swallows each drop of blood that hits her tongue. The man's face quickly drains of color when fingernails pierce through the flesh on his arms, tearing it open as she drags her hands downwards. A woman of the night slowly makes her way down the sidewalk. She leans against a nearby building to fix the strap on her heel when weird sounds wander into her line of hearing. Her smile turns into a frown. She marches toward the alley, most likely angry that someone stole a potential client. The woman gasps upon seeing the ghastly sight, causing tentacles to break free of the skin holding them inside the creature-like human. They hastily wrap around the innocent woman. Each suction cup sticks to the woman's clammy skin as they pull her closer to their owner. The creature pulls back from the man she had just drained, leaving behind her circular venom-filled bite mark. Fear radiates off the tentacle-covered woman. The sound of bones cracking ripples through the neighborhood as the limp body falls to the ground. The creature kneels down, her claws rip open the maroon-colored shirt. Her teeth sink into the fear-soaked flesh, tearing off a large piece. The rubbery texture barely gets mushed underneath her teeth. The sweet taste remains in her mouth despite the human skin sliding down the back of her throat and nestling into her stomach. While she tears apart the body in front of her, each bite as savory as the next, each organ tasting different and just as satisfying as the last. She bites down on the small intestine within the dead person. She slurps it up like any human would spaghetti. The womanish creature places her hand on the ground before crawling out of the alleyway, bones cracking and contorting in different ways to allow more tentacles to break through her scaly skin. This immediately causes people to begin frantically screaming. Most of them stand frozen in fear, while others take off running to survive this bizarre situation. Tentacles snatch up surrounding people while her claws sink into the leg of a man whom slowly takes a few steps backward. His eyes widened out of fear, which only causes the desire within this thing to grow stronger. The woman's jaw unhinges when her mouth opens. Her hands pull the man closer. Her freakishly long tongue wraps around his leg while the acid sliding up her esophagus sprays at the victim. His loud screams of pain are this creature's favorite. His skin begins to melt as his body parts slide down her throat, making it easier for her to move on to the next. She lets out a banshee-like scream before chasing down multiple people, leaving her venomous bites in the nape of their neck and sloppily eating the others. Blood runs down the street, while maniacal laughter erupts into the darkness. The people that had been bitten will eventually turn into a creature similar to the one whom had inhabited her. However, the one she had eaten will help morph her into a different form, one more appealing than this current one. Thunder claps in the distance. Flashing of different colors light up the sky, causing her to tilt her head back to watch the beautiful creatures fall upon the earth. She grins, thrilled that she had been the one to find this place. Her kind had been searching one galaxy after another, inhabiting the people of each planet they had landed on, while wreaking havoc to find a host suitable enough to create a new home, since their home had been obliterated. Inside, this woman had spent a millennium searching and searching for the species to be a perfect host. It happened upon this particular galaxy, explored each planet only to find nothing, not a single species to take control over, until it had landed on this one. It had been a long journey for this creature, but it was satisfied that these creatures make the perfect host for its kind. This shall be their new home and their new way of life. Well, I hope you lovely people enjoyed that fantastic story, Nape by Beautiful Nightmare. Beautiful Nightmare, aka Charlie Blackmoore, does have an awesome book that is available for purchase. I will link to her Twitter page where you can find more information about her. Also, during this video, you may have seen the beautiful art progression that was done on screen there. That is a picture that was done by Penny Tailsup, and she does have a Twitter, and she also does commissions, so please, if you want some art done by someone that is absolutely fantastic at their artistry, I'm not an artist, I'm sorry, contact her. She's very good at what she does, and yeah, very happy with how that turned out. A huge thank you to Beautiful Nightmare for submitting the story to me, Penny for drawing that raven for me, and all of you who listened to this video. If you would like more content like this, or content that is so vastly different it's like comparing Cocoa Puffs to lemonade, or eating a bowl of Cocoa Puff lemonade, I just made myself gag a little. Anyway, please consider joining the Nevermore. To join the Nevermore, all you have to do is hit that subscribe button and the bell icon next to it, and that makes you part of the Nevermore. You can support the growth of the Nevermore by doing things such as following me on Twitter, Reddit, Facebook, etc., or you can also support me through Patreon and Ko-fi. All of these optional, and every single one of them appreciated. All that said, my lovely friends, my beautiful listeners, my just fantastic people that I adore more than you will ever know, I hope you're doing well, and I hope you continue to do well. If you have someone in your life that you haven't talked to recently, consider giving it a shot again. Now, I'm not talking like someone who's forced you out of their life or has been aggressive with you or anything like that, but just a friend who you didn't have a falling out with, but just kind of stopped communicating. Consider giving them a shout out. Consider reaching out to them. Sometimes communication can be hard for certain people. Some of us exist that find it very difficult to say even hello. And reaching out to say hi to us can make our days, honestly. So, I hope you guys have a great week and a fantastic day. I love you all. I'll see you in the next video, but until then, sleep well.